Hello, 7-footers. Are you surprised to see us today? A random day that we are recording.
Well, I think they're surprised to see us in these holiday sweater getups,
Yes,
for sure.
And we have to thank the NBA for this. I told the NBA we would be shouting them out. Thank you so much for providing us with these fun, festive sweaters. I guess I'm a New York Knicks fan today.
Yes, looks
What is
like
yours, Jarod?
I trust the process, and I am a Philadelphia 76ers fan for today, which actually is not so bad. I mean, they got Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler.
Playing great ball.
Playing great basketball. The Knicks, on the other hand.
And they got Butler. Ooh! Oh! Okay, we will get to these both teams because it looks like things are already getting chippy and we're not even a minute in.
We haven't even started yet.
Oh, God. I always tell everybody one of my favorite hobbies is to fight with you.
Well, because it's not real fighting. It's like it's play fighting.
Yeah.
It's all NBA
Totally.
nonsense. Not nonsense. We love the NBA, but NBA trash talk.
I love it. We're like Draymond Green, but not physical.
But not actually punching anybody or like, threatening them or anything crazy like that.
Exactly. Or telling them that they're a B word.
Right.
Or, oh,
No.
you know.
Oh, shouts to Cardi. I know. How you feeling about Cardi?
I'm actually have been wearing black since they split because I'm mourning, but I'm always wearing black. So
I mean, Offset showing up to her job, like my man, like what's up? You can't be doing that, fellas. If your girl's not feeling you,
if he's on an apology tour and he's trying to get his girl back, he brought a cake.
But you can't show up to her job, though,
I'm sorry
dude.
if my man's gonna bring me some cake.
You want to show up at your job though? At your job.
Yeah, but people are like, oh shoot, people want this girl.
She's headlining a concert. This fool comes out and interrupts her set. See, folks, that's what you get with the 7-Footers podcast. Not just NBA basketball. You get pop
crossover.
culture. Listen, you get pop culture, you get everything. But Jenna, this is a special edition of the 7-Footers.
Hey, bro. Sorry, just people answering us on my live. But yes, okay, let's get serious. Special edition of 7-Footers. This is actually a Christmas special.
Yes, it is.
We're wearing Christmas sweaters.
We are.
I happen to be a Knicks fan today, just today. But, it is what it is. So, Christmas Day, Jarod, we have 5 marquee blockbuster matchups.
We do.
Okay?
We do.
Let's kick it off here. We're going to preview each Christmas Day matchup.
Love it.
And, I'm just going to hit you with the burning questions. You're going to give me your hot takes, and you guys know how we do. Check it out. Come on now.
7-Footers, baby.
Yes, there's that logo. So let's kick it off here with the Milwaukee Bucks and the New York Knicks.
We are the New York Knicks.
AKA my sweater at the Garden, Christmas Day. First matchup that we're going to kick off the day with. And we have Giannis Antetokounmpo and Mario Hezonja rematch. I mean, we got an MVP candidate.
And a not-so-MVP candidate in Hezonja.
And a not-so-MVP candidate going head-to-head at the Garden. Now, this is a huge stage, as you know, the Garden.
Yeah, of course.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is projected to put up a all-star performance.
Of course he will.
Which I have no doubt he will. Give me a little bit of background about this matchup here we have now on the big stage.
So the last time these two teams played, the Knicks actually won that game and beat the Bucks.
Oh, that's interesting.
Listen.
Was it an off day?
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Oh,
right?
That sounds like a Stephen A. Smith kind of thing.
We really trying to call me Stephen A. Smith right now?
Honey, I'm only saying that because I heard him say that the other day and thought of you.
Yeah,
and then
he bit that off of me.
I realize you guys have a lot in common. So
anyway, no. So the last time they played, the Knicks did win that matchup.
Yeah.
And Hezonja ended up dunking, and he didn't really dunk over Giannis. Giannis kind of tried to late contest it, and then it turns into this whole big thing. And he did a step over. Mind you, that was Hezonja's only 2 points that entire game. He scored 2 points. Like, let's
a big 2 points, but come on.
Let's not get crazy.
Let's pump the
as I said, the Knicks won that game in overtime, 136-134. But Giannis said after the game, next time I see them and I play, I want to punch him in the balls. Right?
He did say that. So are we going to be waiting for a punch in the balls on Christmas Day?
A little Christmas cheer, little shot to the family jewels. Who knows? Listen, I don't think Giannis is going to actually do that, but I have a feeling Giannis will come out with
all-star performance.
Listen, with an MVP caliber performance. Because Jenna, correct me if I'm wrong, someone at this table predicted Giannis as the MVP preseason, and almost halfway through the season, who would you say the MVP of the league is right now? Jenna Lemoncelli?
Oh, look at him turning the tables over here. Okay, you are right. Oh, my God, it pains me. You are right. You predicted Giannis as your MVP pick in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, preseason.
And right now, I would say, right now, keywords, he is at the top of the leaderboard.
But listen, the season doesn't end now. We got more months to go. So
exactly. Although, here's the thing that's exciting about these matchups on Christmas Day. Although they don't determine the season, they give you a little bit of a storyline to go off into the after Christmas season.
Listen, we say this all the time. Most casual NBA watchers, that's when they start getting into the NBA is on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I, we don't ever get off this league. I mean, we've been since the summer, we stay on it. But you do, I don't know if many people realize it, Jenna, by New Year's Eve, almost every team will have played 48% of their games. That's basically half the season. So
craziness.
As much as we're like the season doesn't start till Christmas, the season been started. Like this is where we're at now. So teams who are on the outside looking in, and we'll get to some of them later on as we preview these matchups, got to pick it up and got to get their giddy up going. So
exactly.
Look, I predict a Bucks win on Christmas in the Garden.
I was just going to ask you what was your prediction for this matchup. I do too. I think obviously we're out without Kristaps Porzingis ACL tear, except some reports say he could be back by Christmas. I don't think it's true.
He won't be back
Why
by
do it? You know, it's not worth pushing it.
The Knicks are playing for the lottery. They're in the Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish sweepstakes. That's what they're worried about. So look, all you fans going to the Garden on Christmas Day, enjoy it. It'll be fun.
It will.
But you're going to watch Giannis do his thing, Chris Middleton and those fellas over in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Bucks, by the way, who most people seem to sleep on, 20-9.
Very true.
The number 2 team in the Eastern Conference, 1.5 games back of the Toronto Raptors. So, hey, I listen, everyone's saying Celtics Eastern Conference Finals, Raptors. Listen, I might like a little Milwaukee Bucks Toronto Raptors Eastern Conference Finals. Who knows?
Exactly. They're playing extremely elevated ball. Giannis is having an amazing season. Not that he didn't last season, but this time around, we're seeing him more confident. Yeah. We're seeing him do things we haven't seen before. And speaking of the Garden being a place to watch a good game on Christmas Day, the Garden... Actually, New York has played the most Christmas Day games in franchise history. Out of all the franchises, I mean.
They, the big thing about that is their name brand, right? So the NBA, Christmas Day is its showcase, right? Yeah. That's when it's like, okay, for everybody who isn't a regular league pass watcher like we are, who watch Sacramento Kings at 2 a.m. East Coast time in the morning, right? Like,
yes.
For the casual fan, the NBA wants to put out its marquee brands. And even though the Knicks are not good and have not been good for quite some years, they are still a marquee brand franchise.
Oh, yeah, and I think that they always will. It comes with the territory of joining the whole franchise, the Garden,
New York,
the big stage.
All that. By the way, you heard earlier this week, James Dolan, owner of the Knicks, saying, listen, he would sell the Knicks. The number that gets thrown around out there is $5 billion. Super producer Matt, you got $5 billion I can hold?
If you do, we'll throw in. I mean, we'll probably be on a payment plan to get you back for actually.
Matt was like, nah,
after
bro.
We're dead, but
ain't nobody got $5 billion for you to hold.
Nah, not with the bees. Not even the millions,
Shoot.
Okay, so I think we have agreed that the Bucks are going to take this W on Christmas Day against the Knicks.
I like it.
So with that being said, let's move on to a more interesting matchup that I'm really excited to see. OKC versus the Rockets, second matchup on Christmas Day. I'm really, really pumped for this, okay? I can't wait to see this unselfish playing Westbrook go against Harden and his, we need to talk about that little two-step, maybe three-step, maybe four-step. Something that he did that a lot of people got some arguments about, but I mean, OKC, it's a good storyline going into this game, right? The Rockets were the kings of, everything last year in their conference, going into everything, and now they're pretty much tanking. But it's early.
We talked about it. It's early, but it's not early, right?
Before Christmas, I consider early. That's what I'm saying.
Well, but is it though? I mean,
OKC. Incredible defense.
Best defense in the league.
Yeah, they're doing real good right now after an 0-4 start. Okay, Rockets need to win games.
Rockets have won 4 straight, I believe. They're 15-14 right now.
Granted, all their last few games have been home games. I think they have a few more left.
Yeah.
But who do you think is going to take this? I mean, we have the center matchups between Clint Capella and Steven Adams.
Yeah. We got Russ and Harden. Yeah, we got Paul George.
It's going to be good.
Look,
CP3, everything.
It'll be a defensive look. the Thunder can guard. And they guard really well.
Even without Andre.
Even without Andre. And look, Harden has been playing like an MVP because he's the reigning league MVP.
And and Russell Westbrook before that.
His two-step notwithstanding,
Mm-hmm.
the league came out and said that he took 3 steps.
He did.
Well, I mean, look, the thing about the travel that a lot of casual fans don't get is the idea of when do you start counting steps as for a travel.
Yeah.
So on the gather, the steps don't count on the gather, right?
Yeah.
You're allowed to gather steps. So that step on the gather doesn't count. Once you gather and the ball's up, then it's 1, 2, and you're done. But Harden did the step back 1, 2, and then another. So it was really 3 to possibly 4. But the league saying it was 3 steps. So
the memes were epic.
It was crazy. So it was a travel. But here's the thing about all that, and we'll get to this matchup. Regardless of and the popular thing around NBA Twitter right now is to say how much everybody hates watching James Harden aesthetically play basketball. It's so ugly. He hunts fouls, whatever. Listen, the goal and objective of basketball is to put the ball in the basket. Yes? That is how you win basketball games.
Plain and simple terms, yeah.
James Harden's really good at doing that, okay? I don't care. Fouls. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. You don't like what he's doing? Stop fouling him. Stop fouling, but you can't stop fouling, right? Because he holds the ball. He holds the ball out there and dares you to strip it. And human nature is, okay, I'm gonna try to reach at it. He's so strong that you're not gonna rip the ball away. You're gonna hack across his arm. He's gonna foul you.
And he's so confident, plays effortlessly.
And he's got that herky jerky game. It's a little slow, like that old man at the YMCA. And what he does is his ability to decelerate, not accelerate, but decelerate is the best in the league. So because the NBA is so fast. These guys are super athletes. They're amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But he can go from top speed to literally a slow down stop.
He can control very efficiently.
And everybody can't do that. And once he slams on the brakes like that, boom, you run into him, foul. It's, hey.
Also, I saw your tweet, too. Once Harden gets cooking, that's it. It's done. The meal's going to get finished. Everybody's going to eat.
Listen.
That's it. It's over.
James Harden is one of the, 4 or 5 best scorers in the history of this game that we've seen. I mean, he can shoot the 3. He can get to the rim. I mean, look, he's got an elite left hand. Everybody's like, all right, he's going left. It doesn't matter. He still gets there anyway.
Yep.
He's going left, and he still gets left. Right?
Hey.
Like, that's how good he is. Here's the problem, though, with that and with Houston. And this has been the problem with them ongoing. When James has to do that and have 50-point triple-doubles, as he's been doing, and carry this team, he runs out of gas come playoff time.
Exactly. I mean, you're only human. Are you going to put up a LeBron-type performance with the Cavs last season every game?
And think about it. Even LeBron LeBron doesn't go crank all the way up on defense early because you can't – listen, you cannot play 82 games full tilt and then go, okay, time for the playoffs, which is even more intense basketball, and crank it up again.
Yeah.
The energy is finite.
Inhuman.
You only have so much energy for the season. When it runs out, it runs out. There's no store to go, let me go get some more. That's it. So that's just how this goes.
Okay.
And the problem with Houston is Chris Paul is not playing up to his potential. And look, we love the point guard on this podcast. CP3 is great, but he's starting to decline. And the problem is the Rockets are built for them to succeed with Chris and James playing at elite levels. Well, only one of them is playing elite right now. So
and Clint Capella isn't even as good as in the paint right now.
He's not as good in the paint. And Eric Gordon, who was a fringe all-star level guy last year, has been terrible this year. Look, you add all that up, that's a 15-14 record. All that to say, they're still a team you do not want to see in the playoffs.
Amen. They're incredible. So let's break it down here really quick because I have a question for you, Jarod. So we have the Rockets. They were in a slump. They're coming out of it a little bit. They're picking up some momentum. They do need to win, though. A lot is on this matchup because it's a good one.
Yep.
Okay. Harden's cooking. He comes off of a 50-point triple-double. We Gucci. But OKC's defense is impeccable. Paul George and Russell Westbrook are vibing very well. Not that they aren't ever, but really right now, because we talked about on last week's pod how they're meshing very well, and Russ is playing unselfish ball.
Paul George is playing like an MVP candidate right now.
Oh, it's incredible.
Woo.
It's beyond incredible.
Yikes.
The only reason we don't incorporate him in that conversation is because he's fishing on a boat with Russ on the off days, and he's not Instagramming himself in the gym.
Nobody checking for him like that.
Exactly. Nobody's looking for him. They're like, yo, you want to go find him? Go to the next boot store, pick up your fishing pole and your hat. Love
Bass
you
Pro
still,
Shops.
though. Exactly. Love you still, though, bro. But anyway, when we put all of this stuff together and we cultivate this matchup, who's going to take the W? Can the Rockets pull out a W with OKC's defense if they're cooking as well?
Look,
what are we thinking?
Anything is possible. This game is at Houston, I believe, so that helps. On Christmas Day, it's always helpful to be the home team, right? You don't have to go out on the road. You get to wake up in your own bed, do Christmas with your family, all that.
It's in Houston, you said?
I believe it is in Houston, yes. Let me just double check that to make sure. We don't want to be giving out wrong information.
Well, I feel like if it is in Houston, a lot's also, and I feel like a lot of people don't think about this, but this is the human side of me that thinks Russ just had twin baby girls.
Listen,
their first Christmas. Man,
yeah, it's
I hope his head's on. And if it's,
Listen, when is Russ's... Well, listen, Russ is always showing up ready to play. So we don't got to worry
and
about
I
that.
do not... I didn't mean that like I question that.
Right,
but,
right.
I mean, it's his first Christmas with his little girls. This is the sensitive side of me.
Yes,
You
we
know I love this
I
stuff.
know.
So I really do...
I think he'll be all right. Look.
Hope it's
and
good.
here's the thing about Russ, too. We said about Russ is playing unselfish ball.
Very unselfish ball. He's passing it
I
in the
know.
fourth.
Listen.
At crunch time.
I'm not even... He's doing this right now in the regular season. All well and good. You know what my question is. When it's a tight game in the playoffs and shots ain't falling for certain dudes, is Russ going to keep passing? Or is Russ going to go, never mind, I got this?
What'd I say last week? OKC finds a way to choke in the postseason all the time.
So for this matchup, I'm going to say...
Tell me.
I'm going
to
say the Rockets continue their win streak and they pull out a close one in Houston. Yeah, Rockets. I'm going to pick the Rockets.
I feel like with their fans and the Christmas holiday, I think it's going to be a good one.
Right? We're going to go with that. Yeah, I'm going to roll with that.
Perfect.
They're playing the Wizards right now, and they're up 14. Ooh, I mean, the Wizards are dumpster fire, so we don't need to. Look, the Wizards are a dumpster fire.
Producer Matt, I saw you crack a little smile over
you
there.
know that they are a dumpster fire. Good God. So yeah, they're Washington tonight. They have Miami on Thursday, San Antonio Sunday, and next Tuesday Oklahoma City. So I want to say the Rockets are going to be riding a 5, 6, 7 game win streak heading into that matchup against Oklahoma City. They'll win it for their 8th in a row. You heard it here, folks. First, folks, 7-footers, mark it down.
Oh, man, with the hot takes. All right, let's move on to a match that I'm hyped about.
I wonder who it might include.
Because all my boys are on there. I hope they don't see this.
All your boys, by the way, they were in Brooklyn last night playing the Nets. I think a certain co-host sent you some pictures of.
Guys, really quick. When Jarod is covering Nets games, everybody knows that I have an obsession with basically every NBA player in the world, and he sends me actual real live photos up close of these guys on the court warming up.
Yep.
That's a true one. Get yourself a Jarod.
Get you a Jarod.
Go get yourself a Jarod. They don't come by easy though.
No, they don't.
All right, next matchup. Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this matchup is monumental to me and a lot of other people, and apparently Jarod, because he's a Sixers fan today.
Apparently. Trust the process, baby.
Exactly.
Trust
and
the
he didn't tell you
process.
guys that his sweater actually lights up, but we didn't have batteries.
Yeah,
so.
ain't nobody lighting up no batteries in here today.
Hey, you lighten up that process. All right, let's talk about this conference semifinals rematch.
Yeah.
Now, let me add that, like I said, this is monumental because if you can recall, I sat down with Joel Embiid over the summer.
You did.
And he told me, in other words, that he was basically still having a hangover from this game. It hurt him.
As it should.
He was so disappointed. They were so close. I mean, they had a good run last year after no one thought they could do it.
Aaron Baines shut him down, so of course he should be upset with himself.
I mean, that game,
Joel
turnovers.
Joel Embiid's an all-NBA center.
Yeah.
Aaron Baines can't be shutting you down, dude.
Exactly. It wasn't a great game for him. He had a lot of turnovers
Tons
that
of
last
turnovers
game,
in that series.
and he was a little slower. But let's talk about this matchup because these are two of the youngest teams ever. Celtics are favored to win. Now, as we reflect on last year's matchup, what can the Sixers do different this time around to make sure they can really show out.
Well, look, the big thing that the Sixers have in this matchup that they didn't have in the playoff series last year, of course, is Jimmy Butler, right? That's a huge component.
A big, big deal.
And Jimmy Butler is a guy who does not lack confidence and who will go after big shots and go and score buckets when the team needs it.
Mm-hmm.
He
loves those clutch moments.
He does. And quietly, we talked about this last episode. The Celtics have been playing good basketball again.
Thank God.
They've been 8-2 in their last 10, and
I wonder why.
Listen,
Kyrie?
oh Lord,
Kyrie?
Yes, Kyrie's been playing well. It's also Brad decided who his best five were, right? He took Hayward.
And you said that.
He took Hayward off and Jaylen Brown out of the starting lineup, put them on the bench, and put the two Marcuses in, Morris and Smart, with Kyrie, with Al Horford, who was injured right now, but and Tatum. Listen, and it's been working for them. I still don't love the flow. Look, they've been playing better. Their defense has always been solid. So they're going to be a tough out. And Brad, these guys get up for regular season games. This game is in Boston. So, again, home crowd. They're going to be lathered up there.
And that Boston crowd, you cannot beat that crowd.
They get into it. And they'll be getting on Embiid and Butler. But, and Ben Simmons, Mr. Kendall Jenner.
Headband Ben Simmons, apparently ever since he's been dating Kendall.
But listen, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
I really think this will be a close game. I really like the Jimmy Butler piece for this because
he was just the perfect
because he's going to feed off the negativity from that Boston crowd and he's going to amp them up more. It's going to be good. Again, the question is, can Joel Embiid dominate his matchup, which he should be able to? I mean, Joel Embiid is an all-NBA center. Embiid, by the way, I don't know if people realize this season, he is putting up monster numbers.
Oh, he's having an incredible season. Extremely different from last season.
I mean, yeah, playing.
Granted, both aren't bad whatsoever.
No,
but the drastic improvement.
26.4 points per game, 13.3 rebounds. I mean, listen, that is insane. Those are incredible stat lines he's putting up.
Oh yeah, monster numbers.
Again, all NBA type guy. He's still turning the ball over a little bit too much. That I don't love that.
He's had that issue though.
Yes, and I like that lately Brett Brown is playing him less minutes because look, Embiid's got an injury history. Last year was the first year he played a full season.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I look, I get it. You want seeding, you want all that. He don't need to be playing 37, 38 minutes in December and January games because he's got to play in the playoffs. So I like that Brett Brown's been dialing his minutes back lately. It's been good, and with Butler here, that helps. This will be a tight game, but I think the Celtics will probably pull this one out. I'm gonna go Celtics by a hair.
Okay,
Even though I'm wearing my Sixers shirt, I probably should not go Celtics. Right?
Talk about trader moves.
Jeez.
Well, you know what? I am not innocent either because your girl just copped an Embiid jersey. It was too nice, but I'm gonna go the C's, but. Close. Very close.
No
very
blowout.
close.
No blowout here.
We need Kyrie to have a spot-on game.
Kyrie will have a good game.
We need the Sixers not to turn over the ball as much.
Listen,
we need them to be more efficient.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons obviously needs to take it to the hoop like he always does. God forbid he has a shot. I mean, maybe.
Listen,
you never know.
I don't think Ben's ever going to shoot, at least not this season.
It's all going to really come down to those little mistakes, though. The small turnovers, different things like that. I mean, J.J. Redick hitting shots.
And that's, I think, we're going to see whether or not the Sixers have made any kind of improvement. Because this will have a playoff atmosphere to it. And will they execute down the stretch, not turn the ball over, not do silly things like they did in the playoffs last year?
Exactly. And like we said in the beginning of this what we were talking about with this matchup, it is monumental because it does pull at your heartstrings for these guys, and it does pull at their feelings a little bit because that's what they're going to remember. There's going to be a type of vengeance going back into this matchup, and I think it's going to make for a great game.
It 100% will. I am looking forward to it.
So we both have the C's close call.
The C's.
Alrighty. Let's move on to the most highly anticipated matchup of Christmas Day. I mean, do I even need to say it? The Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. Now, while this isn't a matchup we probably predict as close as the Sixers and the Celtics, these are two teams that instead of James and the Cavs being hosted by the Dubs.
Mhm.
The Dubs are going to be hosting James and the new squad. Okay, the reigning champs.
New squad. Who dis?
New squad. Who dis? Exactly. And there's a lot of uncertainty with LA right now. Obviously, they just lost to the Nets.
Listen, man. Brooklyn's good.
I loved your Instagram where you said they compete. I think it's totally true. But come on,
I will say
LA.
this. I will say this. That game was really good last night.
Jealous. Beyond jealous.
And I wrote about this, and you can find my 5 thoughts I do every night after a Nets game on blacksportsonline.com.
Yeah.
And one of my thoughts from last night's win was how good LeBron James is. I mean, okay, yeah, duh. Like, right? I think I said LeBron James is very good at basketball. We all know that. But watching him last night, I mean, the dude is a savant. And the way
it's truly an experience.
It really is.
To watch this man.
Absolutely. It's like watching a great artist at work. I mean,
that was beautiful.
It's true. He can calculate plays 3 steps in advance, what the counter's going to be, and you can see it.
His mind is
and it's
always
so fast.
sharp.
And it's so fast.
Always.
And you can see, I got to get to this spot on the court. Cool. Boom, boom, boom. Going to pass the lines. I mean, he just
doesn't miss a beat.
It was incredible to watch. And yeah, they came up short, but I mean, he was brilliant. 36, 11, and 8, something like that last night. I mean, he was incredible. But you can see that squad has holes in it, right? Lonzo actually played well. I think he shot 4 of 8 from 3 last night, which is pretty good for him. Which was pretty good for anybody, but it was really good for him. But this is not the squad that's going to be able to beat Golden State. All right. Now, LeBron is LeBron, and I think I wrote this last night in my 5 thoughts piece. LeBron is the rising tide that lifts all ships, right? In other words,
you always know how to turn an NBA hot take into a philosophical quote I would put in a fortune cookie.
But he is, though, right? Like, in other words, like that, he is so good. Like his just general presence raises that of everyone else around him.
The Suns just bet the Celtics.
You mean beat? Why do you keep saying bet?
Sorry, my tenses are clearly off.
Listen.
Holy shoot!
you were gonna drop a not suitable for work.
Ready to drop it.
So
I'm sorry.
What did I just say? Did we just predict that the Celtics were gonna beat the Sixers? Is it too late to change that pick?
Is it too late to go back?
Nah, I'm gonna keep that. Listen, the thing about the NBA is you have to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, right? Especially when you're talking about seeding and getting the right, and that's what Boston wants, right? You can't be losing games to Phoenix, and no, that's not good, right? Because look, there's no easy outs when you're doing that West Coast trip, so that was one they're probably going to want back. But hey, is what it is. But back to the Lakers.
Yeah, it's a matchup we want to see, obviously, because it's everybody's bread and butter when they get to see LBJ and KD go at it on the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, the two best players arguably ever
in the
world.
In the world,
Hey,
yeah.
Some people might have some thoughts.
Well, listen, you could argue LeBron's the best ever.
I don't argue it.
You can't argue KD's in that group, but you're talking about the 2 best players in the world right now, right?
Yeah,
the two contemporaries right now.
Of course, everybody loves to see top tier talent go head
to
head.
With respect to Steph, I don't want Steph stands to come up in my mentions and be all like, "You don't think?" Look,
of
with
course.
respect to Steph, but
and you know what I have to say too. I obviously know when people hear about this matchup between the Warriors and the Lakers, oh, the Warriors are going to take it. What a sweep, this and that. I'm sorry. We just talked about how the Suns beat the Celtics. Let's talk about how on the 14th, the Warriors only won by 5 over the Sacramento Kings. Like, anything can happen in this league.
That is true.
Anything. And it's really coming to light. And you and I have been covering this a long time, but we're really seeing it this season. I personally feel between the trades and the wins and the losses.
There are look, this league is full of talented players. Everybody that plays in this league is good at basketball, right? I mean,
of course.
Now, granted, there are levels to it, right? You've got the LeBron, KD, Steph. Those people are on a different level compared to your Marcus Smarts and your Terry Roziers and people.
Yeah.
But everyone can play, and if you don't come with the right mindset and the right energy and the right attitude, you'll get beat.
Make or miss league.
It is a make or miss league. When guys get hot, hey, things happen. And we see, look, and it's also the regular season, and teams like the Warriors, they fool around, take their foot off the gas. They lose games, So
yeah.
But this is a home
This
game.
is a game that they don't want to lose.
No, and I think with LeBron coming in, national TV, Christmas, they're going to be amped. LeBron and KD, those two love going up against each other head-to-head. So I predict big games from both of them.
And this is a court LeBron James knows all
listen.
well.
It's in Oakland, in the Bay. You know, he's won titles. He's won a title there. He understands what this is all about, right? Like
He gets it.
But I do like Golden State in this matchup just because.
Oh, I think they're going to take it.
They're just a superior team. Everyone's healthy. It'll be a good game, of course, because LeBron will always make it because you're never out of it with LeBron.
LeBron's going to show out.
Of course.
Ingram's been inconsistent. LA is just unpredictable.
They're unpredictable. And again, this may not be the team we see go all the way through. They might be looking to make some moves. You know, we've been hearing with Anthony Davis, you know, rumors and rumblings. But look, whether or not they can make the deal or not happen, we'll wait and see on that.
Yeah.
But I like the Golden State Warriors in this matchup. I think they will get amped up and turn up for this game with LeBron coming to town, with it being Christmas Day, Warriors being at home. Close game, but the Warriors pull away in the fourth and take it. Big games
agree.
From LeBron and KD.
Completely agree. We are actually vibing this week so hard. And it's actually been like this for 3 weeks. I'm kind of getting scared. But anyway, lastly, the last matchup. Not as exciting, but definitely still two teams that we love to watch. And they have been a little bit underperforming. But let's see. The Portland Trail Blazers and the Utah Jazz. The final game of the night on Christmas Day.
Now, mind you, for all of us East Coasters, man, geez, that's a 10:30 tip.
Oh, it is a rough one.
I mean,
and for some of us, I'm working the next day.
And
are you?
Am I Yeah, the Nets have a home game. Yeah, so I'm working the next day. Yeah. Here's the thing, though, man. By 10:30, you're already what? You've had second courses already. You had dessert.
The red wine's flowing.
I was going to say, you're probably a bottle of red wine in.
21 plus.
I was going to, oh, yeah, well, you know.
21 plus.
I mean, I predict I'll be asleep by midway through the first quarter is what I'm predicting.
Who do you think's going to take this?
You know, let's talk about these two teams. Utah, we talked about last week. Donovan.
I love watching Utah play.
Donovan, you know. Donovan and Rudy are playing well, but outside of them, that's it. Joe Ingles is not playing well.
And like we said, DM's got to put up monster numbers every night to really pull out the W.
And that's a lot to put on. Because remember,
Second-year
he's
rookie.
Only in his second year, guys. Like, he's not a 6-year veteran. Like,
no,
that's a lot to put on this guy.
Very mature guy, though.
He is.
Really, I'm not just gassing him up because I like him.
But he needs
real
help.
Mature guy.
He needs help.
He
does. They need a wing scorer. I mean, doesn't everybody? Wing scorers don't grow on trees. I mean, that's just.
What about Carmelo Anthony? He's off the branch.
It's funny that you actually mentioned that because some of my my other journalist friends were talking about that. They're like, you know, maybe give Carmelo a call. Look, he's not going to help them defensively.
Do you hate the idea?
I don't hate it. Look, if Carmelo can put the ball in the hoop, that's someone to take the pressure off Donovan. Again,
and that's what they need.
But we don't need Carmelo dominating the ball and holding that we don't need.
No, but if he can knock down a shot from the outside, solid.
If he can catch and shoot and do two dribble, sure. But pounding the ball
Give
for
us some
18
easy
seconds,
points?
no, that's not it. So Utah's got some issues on that regard. But look,
so does Portland.
Yeah, we'll get to them in a minute. But I trust in their defense. They're 14-17 right now. You know, I trust in Quinn Snyder, their coach. Hopefully they'll make a move, and we'll see what Utah will be. Portland, you know, this is an interesting team.
Let's talk about Dame and CJ that have overstayed their duo welcome, I feel like.
Well, they're 4 games above 500, 17-13. So
Good.
They're doing fine. 2 straight, 5-5 in the last 10 though. The on-court numbers, on-court, off-court numbers for them is staggering. When Dame is on the court with CJ, they're obviously really good. When Dame is on the court without CJ, they're still really good. When Dame is off the court and it is just CJ, they are a disaster. It's not good at all.
And I feel like this matchup truly is going to, not 100%, but I feel like this matchup is going to trigger a lot of people to see if CJ and Dame can be contenders down the stretch.
Well,
and I feel like we're all monitoring that right now because some people, I feel like, are on the fence, and some people feel one way or another about, do we break up this duo or do we not? Because we also do know that in the playoffs,
look, in that tough
Portland doesn't perform, but they still make it. It's iffy.
in that tough Western Conference,
Mm-hmm.
those two, it's tough, man. Again, I talked about this all the time, and I'll say it again. When your two lead guys are quote unquote smalls, and Dame and CJ are smalls.
Small guys in this league, you don't like them.
It's not that I don't like them. It's that when it comes to playoff time, it's
Yeah.
harder for them.
Yeah.
Because this is still a game. The rim is 10 feet above the ground. Like, bigger people do better in this for a reason.
Of course.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And when you rely on two small guys, it's tough. And again, the rest of that roster, not good. Evan Turner, Nick Stauskas, Al-Farouq Aminu, Nurkic.
Nurkic, not Jokic.
Right, Nurkic, not Jokic.
Not to be confused.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's just not – that's not enough. It's not enough to make that next step. Can they make the playoffs? Sure. Will they make it?
Of course.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, since Dame came to there, we need to know that they made the playoffs every single season.
But they're probably a first round and out. Like,
like OKC.
Which is like – that's just not good, you know? So
who's taking the W?
Because they're playing better right now and they have more scoring options, I like Portland in this game.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. I like Portland.
You know what? Just to spice things up a little bit, I'm going to go with DM and Utah. You know I can't go against Donovan Mitchell.
You can't go against your boy. Let's unfollow you on Instagram.
Yo, Jarod, surprise your girl and put that clip up on the IG. I thought he was going to unfollow me. And then people were getting a little bit chippy in the comments. I was like, yo, DM, I love you. Don't do anything. I'm sorry.
But Spider Mitchell knows it wasn't. There was no
all love,
it was
no
all
hate.
Love. I was just being honest. Like his shooting numbers are down.
No, you're cool with that.
And it's not a knock. The fact is he needs help. First of all,
he does need help.
No one.
It's
can
not like
do
we're
this.
knocking him.
No one can do this by themselves. You can't win titles alone. That's not how this works.
It ain't like that.
It ain't.
We always talk about that. It's a team
help.
effort.
You need help.
You do need help. And speaking of help, help me exit us out of this Christmas special.
Listen, we want to thank all of our 7-footers listeners.
Yes.
Thank you for rocking with us. We're loving our new digs. We're loving the support, the comments we
so
get
grateful.
on
Yes.
Instagram Live. Hey, remember, go to our YouTube page, 7-footers podcast. Subscribe.
The number 7.
Yes, the number 7.
Footers podcast.
Exactly. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 7footerspod, at JS Hector, at Jenna Lemoncelli. Listen, you want all the NBA content and action, this is where it's at. It's right here.
This is where it's at.
We got it for you guys. And from our families, from Jenna and I, the 7-footers podcast family, to your family, we want to wish you all out there a wonderful and a happy, Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Whatever you celebrate,
Whatever you celebrate,
happy.
yeah, we'll see you in the new year. Jenna, if you had to get one thing for Christmas, what would it be?
Oh, my God, really? If anything?
Anything.
An afternoon
Ooh.
with my top 10 favorite NBA players. We could do anything. We can eat cake. We can have board games. I don't care. Anything. If that's no, honestly, on a real note, fantasy, that, yes. Secondly, and I'm not trying to be cliche about this, truly, after I've been reflecting on this year, and not that I'm not happy, but happiness.
Yeah.
True, genuine, authentic happiness.
I'm with you. If I had one thing, it would be, and again, not to sound corny or cliche, it really is, just given where we are as a country and what's just in the world, goodwill on earth, peace towards men.
Oh, you are just too good. I can't even beat that, okay?
That's what I want this holiday season. But, Jenna, Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, happy holidays, everyone.
Holidays.
Thank you, NBA, for providing these amazing sweatshirts.
Yes.
And,
trust the process.
And apparently, go Knicks.
We'll see you guys later.
Deuces.
Peace.